have got this new camera that was sent to me for an upcoming sponsored video that I've kind of been looking for at least a small excuse to try and get a little bit of practice with it before I decide to go make a video that I'm going to get paid for to share with you guys. And I think that I have an idea based on something I just watched yesterday to give this the old community college try. Perhaps you've seen this pop up a few times on Instagram if you follow a lot of bike stuff for a 360 cam to go ride with from a company called Insta360. This will be my first time playing with a 360 camera. I personally have never thought that I would ever have any real use for them, but after watching a few videos with them, maybe I do. So the 1R, the one that was sent to me, comes with an interchangeable wide-angle 4K lens and what we're going to try and play with today a little bit, a dual lens 360 camera, and the actual LCD screen is modular. It clicks together like that. This is my 36th favorite thing to do in the world. So perhaps you're familiar with Mike Boyd's YouTube channel, but he's like a pretty big YouTuber who makes videos about learning to do things in incredibly short periods of time. And the latest video that he posted was about learning how to ride upstairs in less than a week. As a matter of fact, I think he did it in 16 minutes. Now, of course, the first thing that my swelled up, immeasurable ego thought was, I could do that. I don't even need to try. I'm just going to go do it. But first things first, I don't really think flat pedals are the right tool for the job. After I finished shooting, editing, and uploading the video about the Poseidon Redwood, Norton and I went on a small exploration adventure to find the premium best staircase set that we could find to attempt the Mike Boyd Ride Your Mountain Bike Up a Set of Stairs challenge. And just as a small sidebar, finding stairs these days is so much harder than you think. So I've got to admit, once I got to the actual stair set that I wanted to attempt to ride up with an actual bike, really kind of started to backpedal on the confidence level of whether or not I was going to be able to make it happen. So what I did instead was take Angela, myself, and Norton to the front of said building to try and get the shot that was in my head for using the 360 camera. And then try and work on the larger stair set at the bottom near the road because it was really steep, kind of long, and is easily the most intimidating one at that front section of the building versus anything that was at the back. Norton. Whoop. This is harder than I made it out to be originally.
Is Dad gonna do it? No!
And when and only when I had that kind of mastered, I would go kind of play around on the back. And here we are now. Not at that building whatsoever. You see, the other set of much more challenging sections of stairs that I wanted to go ride, well, they're attached to a soccer field. And it's a soccer field that's being currently used in a very active, soccer-y manner. And it would seem that the parents and maybe the athletes' protocols would dictate that I am not supposed to be anywhere near there. To which they had let me know when I got near there. And then they let me know again, significantly louder. Which brings me to this staircase. As I mentioned while we were in the shed, finding staircases, not as easy as you might think. This staircase, admittedly easier and far less intimidating to take on to try and ride to the top of. You see, the challenge of the other stair sets that were at the other building is they're about twice as tall and about probably this length shorter. Definitely makes you bounce around quite a bit more, makes traction a lot more difficult. More of a rectangle rise over run, less of a square. It is fun to take into consideration the different types of stairs and the pitch that they're at and how much more difficult they can be. Because messing around with the ones at the other building that were far steeper, quite a bit taller, not very easy to ride up, made coming over to these like, yeah, no problem. You know what I mean? I really should have just started here. This is a way easier place to get started. Now, there is one stair set that I kinda want to try over there. That's definitely taller and has more stairs. Worth a shot. This isn't gonna make sense, but hear me out. Riding upstairs is harder than it seems until it's not. Like, you probably have it in your head, like I did, exactly what it is that you need to do when you get on two stairs and start riding up them to crest the top and be done climbing. And you're like, weight distribution, not having it in too easy of a gear, tire pressure. Don't hit it too fast, but definitely don't hit it too slow, because when you're on that big of a slope, if you start putting torque down, the front wheel wants to come up, but you can't lean too far forward because then the rear wheel's gonna slip, so you gotta get yourself at just the right spot, and you would absolutely be right. But making that go from thought and theory to actual happening, it takes a little bit of doing. Obviously, based on the amount of YouTube videos on this subject alone, it's not impossible, and it's done all the time. But you know when you see something and you're like, I'm sure I can do that. There's no way I can't. That was this today. And for a little bit there, I wasn't sure that I was gonna be able to. I'll be honest. Mike, I know you're not watching this. It was far from the massive 8 sets of stairs that you climbed in your video, but it was fun to take on the same sort of challenge that you decided to give yourself.